The biggest update since launch is out now for Dying Light 2, finally adding New Game Plus, which also comes with a ton of new content for if you decide to play the game again, including a brand new rarity, enemy variety, and way more. And there are also some other new additions and changes that I want to go over, including something that is smart to do before you start New Game Plus. So of course, if you like the content here on the channel, then leaving a like on this video would really help me out. And let's go. When you boot up Dying Light 2 after downloading the new update, you'll get a pop-up talking about a double XP weekend that will give you twice the combat and parkour XP for a limited time. The week after that, we will see better crystal cores in the Dark Hallows, so we can make more money. Blue Moon will be in the following weekend, giving you better night immunity and chemical resistance. And the final announced weekend is maybe the most fun, because this will let you catapult enemies on impact. And I remember something similar being the case in Dying Light 1, and that was just a ton of fun, so I'm totally looking forward to this one. Now let's go over some things that are already in the update right now, including an FOV slider on console. For this, we want to go to the video settings, then you will find the option here, and to zoom in, we want to go all the way to the left, and I also love how the screen then zooms in. You can of course also zoom out even more if you want by adding the +20, so then you can see your weapon way clearer. It's a pretty nice change and something I know a lot of people want it. It does take some time to get used to, so I will totally be trying these settings myself and see what I prefer. Also good to note is that enemies with bows are less annoying. They decreased the damage output, so you can very easily take multiple hits before you go down, which is also great. They now made it so that completed achievements are correctly awarded upon completion. So when you trigger a trophy or achievement after this update, you might see multiple of them. Those are trophies or achievements you should have gotten before, but that were bugged. Well, now you should be able to see them. And again, you do not want to immediately jump into New Game Plus, because there's also a new quest called Something Big Has Been Here that you immediately get upon entering the game. But yeah, I think this only unlocks way later in your New Game Plus save file. Maybe if you already got it, let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, maybe smart to do it in your regular game first before jumping to New Game Plus. And this, by the way, counts for everything, as you will not be able to go back to the old map. So this new quest has you fight the brand new mutated goons. There are 3 elemental variants, and a big shout out to Best Gamer Ali for highlighting them in his video. Totally follow him for everything Dying Light. I will leave a link to his channel in the video description. So we got the Fire Goon, the Toxic Goon, and the Electric Goon, all with their own elemental attacks. There are multiple parts of this new mission that all require you to take on these different variants, after which you get to part 5. And if you reach this, then you likely noticed that you just have to kill 10 elemental variants, but they will not be noted on the map. I will leave a link to some locations people found on Reddit, so you can check that out. And again, big shout outs to Best Gamer Ali. I personally got the fast travel bug where I cannot use the metros to go back to Old Villador and do the missions. I'm basically stuck. In March they noted that they are working on a fix, but that is sadly not part of this update. Luckily we did get New Game Plus though, which for one skills all the enemies to your level, so it will be more challenging, but there are way more things going on in New Game Plus, and Dennis, who works full-time for the channel, you maybe already heard him in previous videos, tried the New Game Plus mode and will tell you everything you need to know.
Thanks, Jor! So with the update downloaded, you can see the new icon next to the Play Campaign option from the main menu, and from there you can convert a save in which you completed the main story into a New Game Plus save. This will start you directly after the Markers of the Plague quest, the one where you go to find a biomarker together with Hakon, so you effectively skip the prologue altogether, which is very nice. And while you do keep your gear, inhibitors and skills, as well as your crafting materials, currency and schematics you collected during your first playthrough, you don't get to keep your Night Runner tools, which means you have to earn your grappling hook and glider through the story again. Your map is also entirely grayed out, so you need to reactivate windmills and recapture facilities, the latter again being locked behind main story progression, as you can see here. But if, like me, you sided with the survivors in your first playthrough, this is of course a perfect chance to go back and side with the PKs and give them 4 facilities to get an amazing crossbow. We made a video going going more in depth on that for if you're curious. So you already get to play a lot of different missions if you do things differently, but Dying Light's New Game Plus adds more nice extras that will make a second playthrough even better than the first one. For starters, there are 30 new inhibitors to find in New Game Plus, so you can upgrade Aiden's stamina and health even further. And I found my first one thanks to Omega over on Reddit. It's over here on the bridge in Horseshoe. You will have to do some parkouring to get up, nothing too difficult, and then once up top there is a group of infected, including a demolisher, so deal with them and then find the chest next to a tree over here. It is surrounded by landmines though, so I used my bow to detonate them and then grab the new inhibitor. Even more exciting than those are the new legendary weapons you can now hunt for. This is a tier of rarity higher than artifact gear, which means that it does more damage than an artifact weapon of the same level, and it has 4 perks instead of 3. So far it seems you can only find them from these golden infected encounters that are also new for New Game Plus, but if you found a legendary weapon somewhere else, of course let us know in the comments below. Now I found these gold infected encounters during nighttime by just roaming the city, and they are similar to the golden bandit encounters you start seeing after completing the game. Those also show up as soon as you start New Game Plus, by the way. Back to the infected encounters though, as the objective here is to kill a big boss zombie. Looting them after defeating one gives you a chance of getting legendary gear. It's not guaranteed though, as I also got artifact rarity drops, but yeah, this seems to be the only way to get legendary weapons so far. One small problem is that it will drop at your current level, which was 6 in my case, so if you've already looted a similar weapon of a higher level, that one is still going to be much better. Another new thing are the more challenging combat encounters, as New Game Plus does a lot to spice up enemy variety. Volatiles and Banshees spawn during the night according to the patch notes, though I've yet to find either of them just roaming around. But you will also see this increased enemy variety during daytime, where a lot more of these armored infected are roaming around, and I also saw these fire-breathing bandits a lot more than before. So, while a bit more subtle, this is a really nice change, makes combat more enjoyable no matter at what point of the game you are. And finally, a nice extra addition for parkour fans are the new platinum medals. Every parkour challenge now has a platinum medal you can obtain, and the time limit for these is much lower than for gold, which was previously the highest. You also get a lot more parkour XP for getting this medal, but after trying some of them, I can say that they are definitely a challenge, so you'll want to do some practice first before you go for platinum. And of course, you also get to go through all the story moments again and make different decisions to see how that turns out. Because in just the main story alone, there are a lot of quests you probably missed due to your choices. As you can see in the quest list from Power Picks here, there are points in the story where siding with one faction locks you out of a quest for another faction. The main choices that lead to different quests are the following. First, during the Water Tower mission, assigning the Water Tower to the survivors leads into the Revolution mission, where giving it to the Peacekeepers unlocks Into the Dark as your next quest. Later on, at the end of the Welcome on Board quest, you get to choose between siding with Juan or Jack. The first will unlock the Cathedral quest, where the second gives you the Lost Site. And finally, at the end of the Broadcast mission, you get to choose who to assign the antenna to, which will decide 2 upcoming quests. Giving it to Frank will continue with the Night Runners and Breakthrough quests. Your second choice here depends on what you did during the Welcome on Board quest. If you choose to side with Jack Matt, you can give the antenna to him and unlock the Empire and Assassination quest later down the line. If you did side with Juan, however, you can give the antenna to him instead to later unlock the Spy Game and Colonel quests. And that's just the main story. There are also side quests hidden behind dialogue choices, so a lot to discover on a second run of the game.
Thanks Dennis, we'll totally be diving into it myself. Maybe we can play together, because we also got many co-op fixes, as you see on screen here. I will of course leave a link to the patch notes in the video description. Totally subscribe for more Dying Light 2 videos. A like on the video would really be awesome. And check out that previous video by clicking on the screen about how to get the crossbow and other mistakes you don't want to make, which totally apply to the New Game Plus mode as well. Speak to you soon. Goodbye.